Yeah. Um, yeah, let I tell you, like the big signal. And if I sit down,
No, I'll leave it in there. He said, I'm just gonna, send a joke online. I'm just gonna have a piece for $10. Thank you. Appreciate you on that. Okay. He's called me, but he's ready to talk. I'm gonna talk to him. I said, well, leave the note on the facts. See, I don't know if they'll tell you all that.
I know. I love it.
I know.
All right, good evening. I want to welcome everybody tonight. I'll call the meeting to order. We'll begin tonight with a prayer by Wyatt Ritchie, East End Intermediate, 5th grade.
Let's not break it.
God, thank you for this day, this amazing day, and thank you for sending Jesus down to the earth to save our sins so that one day we will be with you in heaven. And I hope everybody tonight sleeps well and whatever happens here is what you wanted to happen. Amen.
Amen. Now the Pledge of Allegiance by Charlie McGinley of East End Intermediate, 5th grade.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now begin with some spotlighting some successes. We'll begin with our SMS Special Education team, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Mooney.
So when great things are happening, it's never just one person. That's why I'm saying, come on up here, people. This is good. You come on up here too, Dad. Great things are happening in the Sheridan School District and at Sheridan Middle School. And when you get to do this difference maker opportunity, it's because somebody has a dream and a passion, and the passion starts coming through. And when that starts coming through, it's touching the kids, it's touching the parents, it's touching the staff, it touches the administrator. It just has that ripple effect. And so tonight I would like to recognize this team. So this is Miss Van Aker. She is an instructional assistant in the self-contained classroom. She works with Driver on a daily basis. He is making great gains. This is his mom and dad, the Blacks, and we're so proud to have them, and they're just, I think they would like to say a few things themselves about what a great year he's having and what's happening in that classroom. This is Wesley Anderson. He is the teacher in the self-contained classroom. I remember the day that we interviewed him, and he said, "My dream is to be in the self-contained classroom and teach those kids and teach them life skills." And that is exactly what he's doing. Can I get an amen? That is exactly what he's doing. He is making a huge impact on these kids. He's teaching them life skills. They have a store. They get paid for the things they do in the classroom. He's teaching them to tell time. The list goes on and on. He's taking them on field trips. He's got one he's already planned for May. He did one in October. And what? Oh, and he has guinea pigs too. They have a pet mascot now in the classroom. There's just so many great things going on in this classroom that is making a difference. And so tonight we recognize Mr. Anderson, Wesley Anderson, for being a difference maker. Yes. Casey Van Aker, a difference maker at Sheridan Middle School. And then Christy Beach, who is not here tonight. She is actually sick tonight. She couldn't be here. She's made these kids T-shirts for when they go to Special Olympics, and just fantastic things happening in there. So I'd like to recognize Christy Beach also tonight. So again, thank you, Mr. Anderson, for the work that you're doing in this room. Thank you, Lord.
Great job. Thank you. Hey. Hey, driver. Hey, driver. Scott.
All right. I'll now turn it over to Dr. Bowler to talk about our SES garden grant.
Well, before we came up here, we were talking about how we can get a chicken coop between SES and SIS. And I was like, I don't know right there, but this is Sydney Whitaker, and the McGinleys couldn't be here, but it's always an honor for them to reach out and write grants and get money. And if you have driven by either SIS or SES, both of them are in the construction zone right now. We don't have anything planted, and I'll let Ms. Whitaker tell more about that. And this next year, Ms. Whitaker is taking on a new position. She's going to be our literacy interventionist / science teacher on Fridays with the garden. That was one of the things she asked about. And so we'll do a rotation for more kids to get out there in our garden, too.
So I'm really just going to give an update. So there's not a budget in the school budget for the garden. So we have to find funds where we can. Luckily, we have some people in the community that support us. Of course, Brad McGinley with the Cooperative Extension Office. Of course, his wife Serena is across the street from me at SIS, and then the Master Gardeners here in town, Grant County Master Gardeners. So the SIS garden was established in 2017, and the SES garden was established in 2018. So all these years later, there's been some wear and tear. If you've ever been out there, the boards were breaking, and they were just breaking down. So Brad, we actually, we got a blessing from a local roofing company, Platinum Roofing. Their manufacturer had mismade or made these roof curbs wrong, and they had all these roof curbs that go on like a roof for an air conditioner, I think. Anyway, they had lots of them, and so they contacted Brad and said, "Hey, do you think y'all would like these for the garden beds?" And all the master gardeners in the garden said yes. So we decided to redo the gardens. We've pretty much almost finished SIS. So when I say we, I mean Brad, Serena, myself, and the master gardeners. They get credit for volunteer hours. So we've got SIS done. If you drive by SCS, it looks a mess. We've started on it, but it's not finished. We have a date to work on it, April 2nd and 3rd. So hopefully those will be cleaned up. Also, Circle W, I think is the name of it, is a landscaping company here in town that they've given us the mulch at cost. So SIS had won an award last year, so they had some money they got for the award and were able to pay for their mulch and everything, and so we did not have that fund. So I applied for the Farm Bureau grant. You had to have some matching stuff, so I was able to say that Platinum Roofing and the landscaping company, mentioned what they had contributed, and we were awarded the grant. It's $250. We still may have to do some looking, if you know anybody, to make sure we can cover all the costs. Brad did say he would help us out. But these are going to be redone, and I am excited. For the past several years, I've only been able to take my class mainly to the garden because there's just me and I have classroom. So next year, because I have a new position, I had asked her about making a schedule where I could rotate each grade level through. So I'm excited. So in a few months, drive by and take a look at it. So thank y'all very much.
I'm going to now turn it over to Mr. Pitts and Ms. Mayberry. We have, unfortunately, 3 board members that this is their last night. I do want to say
Amen.
Personally, not amen, but personally thank you all for everything that you do for this community and this board and our school district. It's a thankless job, but I greatly appreciate all of you.
Yeah, so as they say, I guess all good things come to an end, right? So tonight we want to take a moment to recognize and thank our school board members whose terms are coming to an end tonight. And some of them have been up here for 4 years, and then some of them have been up here for almost 3 decades. And so many people see the first or the second Monday of the month, but they don't see all of the countless hours reviewing policies, studying budgets, making decisions that shape the future for our students and staff. Beyond the boardroom, they have answered phone calls, spoken with parents, attended school events, participated in required trainings, and represented our district with dedication to our community. Much of this work happens quietly and after they've worked a full day at their normal, everyday jobs, but it's vital to the success of our schools. And I'll pause there, and I know there's families here, and just tell you thank you for allowing all the time that they spend, and when they have to go to the garage to answer the phone call and talk to the parent and all of those good things. But public education depends on individuals who are willing to give their time, energy, and thoughtful leadership to ensure our schools continue to grow and improve. On a personal note, I want to thank all of you for the confidence you've placed in me by selecting me to serve as superintendent. I'm grateful for the time spent working alongside you and for the support and guidance you've provided. Your leadership and service have made a lasting difference in this district, and on behalf of student, staff, and community, I want to say thank you. We're deeply appreciative of all that you have done. So when I call your name, if you'll come down here, and we've got a plaque for you, and then we'll get a picture, and then Ms. Julie Mayberry wants to add a little bit to that. So Jacob Palmer with 4 years of service. Stan Hancock, 4 years of service. And Jody Spann with 29 years of service.
Well, the one behind me is who I want to talk to, so I need to somehow see it. There you go. Okay. First of all, thank you for your service, and sorry I don't have extra, but you didn't serve 3 decades. So when you get to nearly 3 decades, you can get one of these, okay? First of all, I have lots of mixed emotions, as I'm sure many of you do, because, you know, we are very excited for you, because this means that you get to spend more time with your beautiful family and your wonderful wife, Sherry, who I know is glowing, because that means you're going to have less worry going on in your world. You probably are excited because you might get some more hunting in too, right? Yeah, more family time. But we're all sad because that means you won't be here. And Jody, you have been, I'm going to start to cry. You have been a calm, level-headed, firm, yet soft-spoken leader. Those are such beautiful qualities and so honest. We know it comes from the heart, and you've helped to build this school district, the Sheridan School District, into something that we want to call our school district, that we are proud to say is our school district. So thank you. I'm going to read to you officially what this citation is. So bear with me because there's a lot on here. It says, Mr. Jody Spann, whereas Mr. Jody Spann has served the state of Arkansas with distinction, integrity, and unwavering dedication as a member of the Sheridan School District Board of Education for 29 years, now retires. And whereas Mr. Jody Spann is a lifelong resident of the East End community, a 1978 graduate and senior class president of Sheridan High School, we knew something then, right? And was the first ever recipient of the distinguished A.R. McKenzie Award, who showed early leadership and involvement through activities such as football, Future Farmers of America, and Youth for Christ. And whereas he has demonstrated outstanding commitment to the Sheridan School District by serving on the Board of Education from 1997 to 2026, including approximately 17 years as president, making him the third longest serving member since 1913. Did you know all that? During which he worked with 6 superintendents and played a pivotal role in the passage of a $3.8 million increase that funded numerous facility improvements and upgrades district-wide. And whereas Mr. Spann's greatest joy as a member of the Board of Education has been witnessing the positive impact of teachers and staff on students' lives and seeing those students become successful, contributing citizens. And whereas, together with the high school sweetheart of his wife of 46 years, Sherry, Mr. Spann founded Spann Construction, Inc., raised 2 Sheridan graduates, Charity Hart and B.J. Spann, and is devoted grandfather to 6 grandchildren enjoying family travel, hunting, fishing, and horses. And whereas the House of Representatives, the 95th General Assembly of the state of Arkansas, takes great pride in recognizing Mr. Jody Spann for his many years of service to the state of Arkansas and wishes him well in his future endeavors. One more. And then this flag was flown over the Capitol today in honor of Jody Spann from the Secretary of State.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Jody, would you like to? Well, hold on, Andy. They may want to say a few words.
It has been an honor and a privilege to serve this district, and for all these years, we've been through a lot, but it's all been worth it for the kids, and to build a great school district. And I would also like to say thank you to my wife for taking all of those phone calls for all these years.
Married 46 years. I thought Sherry doesn't even look 46 years old. But I would like to say thanks to all 3 board members and to Jody. We've both been on this board for a long time, and Jody's been a great mentor to me. I don't know that I'll make it 29 years. I'm getting close already. You are. But I do appreciate everything that you've done, and some of the words that Julie mentioned about you being that calm leader with a cool head, and at a lot of times, I try to make myself be that way because that's not really the way I'm always wired. But I do appreciate that example that you've set for all of us, and for all your years of service, and also to Jacob and Stan. A year on a school board seems like 10 years. But 4 years, and I'm going to say this, because
both came onto the board in a time where we needed some change, and we needed some things shook up. And those two didn't mind shaking things up and got us off dead center on a couple of things. And I appreciate that. That's what's hard about the job. But I think everybody had in their mind, we want this community and this district to move forward and be better than it was yesterday. I think that's still the direction of the board, and I appreciate all three of you.
Thank you, Jeff.
You gotta stay the whole time.
We'll now move on to student achievement. I will turn this over to Dr. Wally to talk about our school improvement plan update.
So last month, I requested that I be moved down on the agenda from not the spotlight of success because it's hard to follow. That was not honored, but that's okay. That's okay, I'll get over it. I want to start by just thanking you for your service, and I know you're going to miss the paycheck that comes along with being on the school board, but we do appreciate your service, and I'm going to follow you after tears of thankfulness, but thank you so much for everything that you do. I know it's not easy. Before we move right into our presentation, each month we come with this presentation that we put together, a template at the beginning of the year, just to fill in what it looks like on our school improvement plan. I don't want to miss the quote this time. The goal is to turn the data into information and information into insight, because it's not just this one time a month that we do that. This is every day that the principals and the teachers are looking at this data and thinking, how can we take this data and improve on our student outcomes? So a lot of work goes into every number that is on here. Last month, I also updated you on the interim data. So we've got a few. We had the snowmageddon that happened. So we had a few interims that were not given that we're going to give a little update for that. So if you can. All right, so with ALA, they've got their Atlas data in there. So if you can see, I just want you to you can look at the data, but just go to the very bottom where you can see in K through 5 at ALA that they had 7 students that saw growth. And then you can see on the, that's on the reading side, and on the math side, K through 5, they have 8 students that saw growth. And I believe our enrollment, 13, and what's our enrollment in K5? So we have 22 students in K5. So 7 students and 8 students saw growth. So we're gonna, that's start in the interim. So this is our scrimmage game. We still have a playoff game coming in state assessment. And then you can see 6 through 12 on the next slide. Again, if you'll see, and you've got 6 through 8, where you have 6 students who saw growth on reading and 6 that saw growth on math in your 6 through 8. And I would love for you to do that. Please do. That's awesome. That's awesome. And this is March. So we still have time for more growth. So that's awesome. Can you tell the enrollment for 610 or 612? Just how many students do you have enrolled in all? Okay, I put him on.
At the end of this week, there'll be about, we'll have 45 students at the end of this week.
From 612. So you have 9 students for 610 that saw growth. And remember, our 11th and 12th graders do not take the Atlas tests. And then that's on reading. And then you had 10 on your math and algebra and geometry from 6 to 10. So good job. Lots of work that goes into that. So I appreciate that. East End Elementary. So what you have here on the East End Elementary, this was their school improvement goal, their school improvement plan. One of their goals, they had 2 goals on the achievement piece of that. Their first one was 80% of their second graders will use computational fluency to add and subtract within 100. They're at 70% proficiency. So we're working towards 80%. This is March. We have a little bit more time to go, but you can see where those numbers, and we're tracking that progress. Also, they have 80% of their students will meet their proficiency on their oral reading fluency, as measured by the Dibbles test. So far on second grade on their oral reading fluency, using the Atlas interim, they're at 48%. Our local data as of March 2nd is 74%. So there's a little bit of information in between that 48% and 74%. Some questions that will be asked, maybe rigor. Do we need to increase the rigor to make sure that it mirrors what's in the Atlas? So again, this information is information that we're using to interpret what do we need to do next and how do we hone in on that. In January, we had 27 second grade students reading at 100 words plus per minute. And in March, we have 41 second graders. Yay, you can see Tamara, that is Coach Strawn cheering in the back. So excellent job. And then we have some updates, and I'm not going to go through every number on the EEE, but these are the updates. They had not finished giving their interim as our last board meeting. But just looking over at the top, the ELA performance levels 1 or 2, you see that 33 students, 82 students, and 68 students, they're working hard to do a plan on what do we do for those 38 students, because they're at level 1 or 2, that we need to move to 3 or 4. And our district goal is at 80% at levels 2, 3, or 4, or 50% at levels 3 and 4. So they are working. They have everybody. If you step a foot in that building, you're going to have a student that you're providing intervention for, because we're going to be very intentional about providing that. And you can see it's all broken down, and I'm not going to go through all of that. Sheridan Elementary, this is just an update from last time. You can see the district goal up at the top that I just said, but you can see on their kinder literacy and their first grade literacy, they've surpassed the 80%. They're at 89% and 85%, but also look on the goals for 50%, how close they are at 46% in first grade. So we're going to get there. We are going to get there. We have a goal, and we are running the race. So Sheridan Elementary School, this is where it's broken down. So these are her goals, or their school's goals for Sheridan Elementary. The top, 80% of the students will master the identified phonics essential standards. And then look down, kindergarten, first, and second. That's the same goal for each one. And you can see where they are towards 80%. They're trying to find out who are those other students, but at the same time, not letting that other percentage drop at all. And then 80% of the students will demonstrate proficiency in comprehension. We want them not only to read faster, but we also want them to understand what they're reading. So you can see from kindergarten, first, and second. And then on the last goal, 80% of our students will demonstrate proficiency in computational fluency. And you can see where we are with that in math. And then second grade is assessing this week. Am I right on that one? Second grade's assessing this week. EEI, okay, theirs is more specific down to the goals. So they also have the ELA math and science goals, but they've got theirs down by standard. So you can see in third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade, those are reading comprehension standards. Where are they on those reading comprehension? And they're at 26, 22, and 39. Those are their common formative assessments. Those are not state assessments. These are their common formative assessments. And you can see we love acronyms and education. But you can see the 22% is the CSA. That's the summative. So that means they are at the end of the unit on that one. So we'll have to go back and do some intervention. So now they're dividing them up in intervention and saying who needs which skill. Then the math current assessment data, you can see at the bottom, you've got third grade. That's your computational and algebraic reasoning, that 3 car 6. That 3-car 6 encompasses a whole lot of standards. That's your real world word problem, and say that 10 times. Real world word problem. So taking everything that they've learned and they're applying it. So we've got to, I had those math facts and those math cards and everything, but now I have to know why I have those math facts and cards. So it's been a struggle, and they've worked hard on it. So it's always, we're looking at 3-car 6 again. We're looking at 3-car 6 again. 4th grade, you can see they've got the place value, numerical and place value, and the CAR, which is your algebraic or reasoning. Again, look at those percentages. And then if you'll go to, and I wanted to tell you this too, as much as we can throw these numbers, one, I appreciate you letting us present this, because what it does is it holds us accountable too. There's times that you really don't want to put a number up here and go, okay, I've got 7%, or is that my timer saying it's time for me to go? Okay. So I want you to know that it's humbling to put this up here, but it also holds us accountable. So just say, it's not what we want, but we're working so hard to get there. This is SIS, and you can see that they have pretty much the same goals, reading comprehension for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then they're looking at their assessment goals, and theirs were all on computational and algebraic reasoning at the bottom. We're struggling in math. We got a long ways to go in math. So I can tell you that now. You probably saw that on the summative, but we've got a lot to do in math. And there's a lot of understanding, but don't forget the basics too. So, but we got to balance those. All right, next one, you can see this is EEM, and this is their school improvement goal. They've got your proportional ratios in 6th grade, 52% proficient, and then their algebra for 7th and 8th grade. Our 8th grade students do this is your math goal, Algebra 1, though. This is not your Algebra 1 students, or does it include both? 8th grade math, because we do have an 8th grade Algebra 1 class, too. So that's 8th grade math. And then your ELA, which, again, those are all reading comprehension. You can see 32%. That means it's the first attempt on that, which means now they'll figure out who they need to reteach which skills to and do intervention on that. And then Sheridan Middle, their math at the top, to increase their proficiency. And they've got their algebra standards. You can see 8th grade is doing a retake right now, and then reading at the bottom. High school, one of their goals, they had 3 achievement goals, but one of their achievement goals was 80% of the students will score at grade level, which is a level 2, with 50% scoring at levels 3 and 4. Okay, so if you'll notice that, the grades is summative, that's from last year, at the end of last year. And then in the spring, the yellow, they took the winter interim. No, I've got that wrong. No, the yellow. The yellow is the fall interim, and the winter is the one that they just took. So I want you to notice, just look at that. The blue is the one that they just took in the winter, and it's already surpassed where they were at the end of the year last year. In most cases, I think Algebra 1, which we didn't have the Algebra 1 or geometry scores, I think, last month. So this is adding to that. But you can see, for the most part, it has surpassed where they were at the end of last year. Again, we've got growth that we're working on, and they are working hard. If you ever walk into their PD room and look at their data room, I mean, there are dots everywhere, there are lines everywhere, questions. And then the last slide, just looking at overall, another one of their goals is to decrease their level 1. So however many students are in that level 1, they want to grow their lowest 25%. So you can see that they are decreasing. So, for example, 9th grade ELA distribution, there were 76 students at the summative last year that scored a level 1. This year, right now at winter, there are 55 students. So they have decreased their level 1. So that's what we want to continue doing and grow in our levels 3 and 4. So we can see lots of growth, but we also know that we have lots of hard work in front of us.
Are there any questions? Thank you so much for giving us this time just to share our information.
We'll now move to the public comment section of the board agenda. And at this time, we have one parent that has signed up, Miss Amber Russell. If you'll just please step to the podium, I will read the opening statement that goes along with this law. Good evening, everyone. We now open the meeting for public comments per Arkansas Code 6-13-619. This is a designated time for community members to address the board on matters before us. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak. We welcome your input. We encourage you to speak respectfully and professionally, avoiding statements about specific students or district staff members. If these boundaries are not observed, I, as the board president, will end the speaker's time and move on to the next individual. While we value your perspectives, please note that the opinions expressed by members of the public may not reflect the views of the board. We also encourage you to follow our district chain of command policy, policy 6.7, before signing up for public comment. But we do thank you for speaking, and we look forward to your comments.
Thank you. I actually have copies if you guys want to take one and pass it down. Good evening. My name is Amber Russell. I'm a parent of a middle school student in the district. Before I speak about my concern, I would like to share a little bit about who I am and why advocacy is important to me. For over 10 years, I worked as a veterinary technician, so I would advocate for animals that don't have voices, they can't speak for themselves. And in a few months, I will graduate from nursing school and become a registered nurse. And again, I will be advocating for individuals who may not always have a voice. Advocacy for those who rely on others to speak up for them has been a central part of my life and career. Today, I'm here in that same spirit as a parent, advocating for my child and for transparency in our classrooms. Like most parents, I send my child to school every day, trusting that he will be in an environment that encourages curiosity, supports learning, and treats students fairly. Education should inspire children. It should build confidence, encourage questions, and make students excited to learn. My son is a very intelligent child who is he used to love learning, but over time, I've watched that enthusiasm slowly fade. When a student begins to feel discouraged about asking questions or feels that they are being treated unfairly, he may not be, but that's his perspective, that spark can start to dim. As parents, it is incredibly difficult to watch that happen and feel like we have no visibility into the environment our children are into each day. Students today are not allowed to have their phones in class, which I understand and support. However, that also means that parents have absolutely no insight into what is happening inside the classroom. When concerns arise, parents are often left with no way to verify what occurred, and situations can come down to one person's word against another's. My son has described situations where comments from teachers felt discouraging or dismissive. Whether that perception is accurate or not, the challenge is that there is currently no way for parents or administrators to objectively review what actually happens. My son has shared a situation where he feels certain comments from teachers may be uncalled for or discouraging, where he believes he has been disciplined for things that other students were not. Whether these perceptions are accurate or not, there's no way to find out. I want to make clear that I respect teachers and I understand that they have an incredibly challenging jobs. My goal is not to undermine teachers, but rather to support a system that protects everyone involved, students, teachers, and parents alike. I graduated from Sheridan myself. For that reason, I would like the board to consider exploring the possibility of classroom cameras or recorded instructions with appropriate privacy policies in place. Many organizations already use recording for safety, accountability, and review. A system like this could help provide clarity when concerns arise and could also protect teachers from false accusations. At the very least, I would like to ask the district to consider giving parents the opportunity to voice their opinions or vote on whether this is something they would support. Transparency builds trust. When parents have confidence in the learning environment, it strengthens the partnership between families and schools. Most importantly, our children deserve classrooms where they feel supported, encouraged, and excited to learn. No child's love for learning should slowly fade because they feel unheard or discouraged. Arkansas schools already use cameras on buses and hallways and will soon require audio recording devices in locker rooms for safety. If recording technology can protect students in those areas, it seems reasonable for parents to at least discuss whether similar transparency could benefit classrooms as well. Other school districts across the country are already exploring or using cameras in classrooms. I just respectfully ask the board to consider studying or surveying parents about classroom transparency and the possibility of recorded instruction. It's just to make the trust in the school a better system for everyone involved. Thank you for your time and for the work you do for our students and our community.
Thank you so much for your comments, and we will look at these and we'll discuss these as well. And
Thank you.
one of
That's all
our-
I wanted. I just want you to
I
consider
understand,
it.
and thank you for being very respectful.
You're welcome.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. We'll now move on to our consent agenda. We've had the chance to review everything on the consent agenda with the supporting documents. If there are no questions, I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? There is none. Now the renewal of our lawn care contract. I will turn that to Ms. Boland.
Several years ago, we put out RFP, request for proposal for lawn service contract, Cutler Property Preservation and Landscaping was awarded that contract. Back in November 2024, it was put out again for bid, and Cutler Property Preservation and Landscaping was again the lowest bid, a good service record. So we are recommending to renew the contract for next school year. It's that time of the year where I'm gonna start bringing you more and more for next school year. They have held their prices firm the entire 5 years that we've been with them so far. And so I'm recommending you renew the contract for lawn maintenance with Cutler Property Preservation and Landscaping for a period. Their contract doesn't run over the school year. So this will be from March 2026 through February 2027. And then, Mr. Benz is gonna kind of take a look at what we're doing district-wide, make sure that's the best thing this time next year. And then at that point, we'll try to true it up to the school year after that.
Where are they out of?
I believe Stuttgart. They're not here in the area, but they are here in the area to mow every time we call them.
They were substantially lower than the four other bids that we received.
They were, and they were the only ones that actually bid all the services, in their entire bid. I'm trying to look, wait, to see if I have their address here. They're actually just called up from Greenbrier. Greenbrier, Stuttgart Greenbrier.
Close, just opposite sides of the state.
Not from here, I don't know.
If there's no further questions, I would entertain a motion to renew the lawn care contract with Cutler Landscape Services.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Now we move to the approval of our workers' comp coverage. The Sheridan School District participates in the Arkansas School Boards Association Workers' Comp Trust for employee coverage. We have a proposal to continue this coverage, and the annual premium for the calendar year 2026 is $62,346. Is there a motion to approve to continue this coverage with workers?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Now we'll move to the addition of our approved EFT vendor list. The administration recommends adding Dragonfly to the approved electronic payment list so that we can pay athletic officials electronically, and I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I do have one. I mean, a question. So is this the only way we'll pay athletic officials, or will some be? We're in a transition period, so, okay. So some may not be paid.
Soccer embraced it fully. Baseball and softball weren't quite so thrilled. For us, it allows us to, we issue a lot of checks to officials. A lot of them So it is at no cost to them, but it will go directly into their bank account, so we won't have the issue of mailing checks. Legislative audit has kind of discouraged or encouraged more and more electronic payments so that less is going through the mail, which is a big source of where people steal checks for check fraud and that type of thing. So we see it as a benefit.
It's just different right now for some people.
It's just different.
I get it. Change is hard.
But hey, it's all okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of adding Dragonfly to our EFT list, I'll accept a motion. Oh, maybe we did. I interrupted myself with some discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Now we'll move to the approval of Sheridan Elementary School cameras and back again to Ms. Boland.
So Sheridan Elementary School is one of the final campuses to upgrade cameras. Their camera system on the classroom, in the hallways and outside is on one of the older systems. Part of what we talked about when we went and visited with the community about doing a mill extension was this specific project. We are moving forward. We put it out for bid. We received 2 bids. Progressive, who is currently the provider of our monitoring systems, and they provide an annual maintenance contract, was the low bid. Their bid actually came in just below what you all needed to approve, but we left it on so that you're aware we're doing it, and you can see the price. The other company that provided a bid, Adapt Patriot Services, was just a little bit higher, but again, we prefer to go with the vendor, the lowest price vendor that we already have a relationship with. There won't be any issues with it interfacing with our existing system. And so we are asking for you to approve the proposal from Progressive Technologies to install and configure 26 new cameras for a cost of $45,455.87 plus sales tax.
Okay. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the purchase of Sheridan Elementary School cameras.
Will they install these during the school year, or will that be, when will that be installed, do you know?
I mean, I
That-
think they have the cameras.
It won't interrupt
We
the,
won't interrupt school.
okay, all right. Just, I mean, just,
Could be, but it will not interrupt school.
okay, all right, I make them,
We've switched out cameras in campuses
okay.
before during
I
school.
didn't know, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Shouldn't be an issue.
okay. I make a motion to approve.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There
I
is
mean,
none.
that wasn't gonna, I was just wondering, I'm just curious.
That's good. Good question.
We'll now move to our policy updates, which is section 4, and Mr. DeFore reviewed the section 4 policy changes with us in the work session. The policy changes are recommended by ASBA to stay in compliance with the law. If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the policy change. Have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. Now we move to item number 6, which is a student expulsion recommendation, and I will turn that over to Dr. Wally. And while she's doing that, since we are losing 3 board members, we have all 3 brand-new board members present with us tonight, and I do want to recognize each of them. If you'll stand and wave to the new staff. So we have Angie Holloman, Billy Spann, and Melissa Grisham. We're excited to have all of y'all come on board and the time that you're going to devote to this district and our kids. Thank y'all so much.
So you just received a folder for our recommendation for our expulsion of a student. And you can see where the student waived their rights to a hearing. And they agreed with the recommendation. Student is currently enrolled in TLC.
have the opportunity to graduate May 26th. Is that correct?
They're offering educational options, yes, for the
Okay.
student to graduate.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the recommendation of the administration to expel student A.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Sure. Sure. We have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There is none. So now we will adjourn for executive session to discuss personnel. Okay, me too.
No,
Past me, it was a doozy, huh?
It's gonna be like I never left, though, you know, me and Billy both the exact same name.
That's right, that's right. Feel right in.
This is not typical. We're typically not here till 9:45, so
You know what,
we don't want to scare you off. Not number one. Not normal.
Show up next month, please.
Not normal.
All right, thank you for your patience. I'll call us back in session. I will turn it over to Mr. Pitts to go over the personnel.
Yeah, on your personnel, you'll see some new hires, some resignations, and then a list of people to rehire, our certified staff to rehire. So administration would recommend approval of personnel list as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. With that said, I will turn it over to Mr. Pitts for last superintendent report of the night.
So we have our next school board luncheon is at East End Elementary on Friday. And spring break's coming up 2 weeks from today. Some of us will be on a beach somewhere maybe, but spring break's March 23rd through the 27th. Remember, we kept, or we stayed out of school for Good Friday. So on April the 3rd, we'll be out of school. April 6th was supposed to be out of school, but that's a makeup day, so we'll be back in session for that day. And then our next regular scheduled board meeting is April the 13th, and it's the one that we have in the spring at East End Middle. So it'll be at East End Middle School next month, and I'll remind everybody of that as well.
Okay. All right. With all that being said, thanks for your patience, and I'm going to ask a particular person to make a final motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and they are adjourned.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it. I'm gonna miss you, Jody.
That's it.
I emailed it to you.